Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a lot of stuff that I want to accomplish today. Cleaning stuff, reorganizing stuff. I would like to get to my craft closet today. The room that I'm in, this is our guest room, and it's a little disheveled at the moment. There's stuff everywhere, stuff needs organized, and I feel like I can't really delve into my craft closet until the room itself is kind of like reset. I had to run and get my coffee. The last few days, we have finally gotten the Christmas decorations down, cleaning each room, kind of resetting each room. We did the living room, we did our bedroom. So now all of the Christmas stuff is in the dining room on the table and it needs packaged away, and our Christmas tree still needs put away, but I'm not getting into that yet. If you watched my last cozy vlog, I filmed that in the beginning of January, and I was kind of talking about projects that I wanted to do, working through my yarn stash, books I wanted to read. So I wanted to give a small update to that. I did finish the cat blanket that I was working on. I'll insert a video of that one. And then I have a second blanket that I also made with my plush yarn that I wanted to kind of work through. All right, so here is the other blanket that I made. A great scrap buster. I was able to use up some of the little balls of yarn that I had left over. And of course, this is just like a small little square blanket. You can put it like on the back of a chair. I can use it as a cat blanket, a baby blanket. I have it made and I can decide what I want to do with it later, but I at least use the yarn. And then as far as my plush yarn goes, the rest of it, I came to the conclusion that I'm gonna give some of the colors to one of my friends who also crochets, and the other colors that like she didn't want, I'm just donating to Goodwill. I'm not gonna force myself to make plushy stuff with plush yarn because I hate it, and I have a lot of other yarn to go through, specifically like my natural blends and my acrylic yarns that I am more inclined to actually make stuff with. So I have officially emptied my container of plush yarn, and I know exactly what I want to do with this, and it's kind of, we're going to get into it a little bit later. So that's 2 projects that I've made with my stash, and I'm very happy about that. And then last night I officially finished this book. Yay! I finished it! I started it on December 6th, and as of yesterday, February 1st, I finished it. A super quick read. I just had to get back into it. It took me so long because whenever I was reading it at first, I had a digital copy of it on Libby, and then I ran out of time. I didn't finish it before the 21-day period. I had it on hold again, waiting in line for it again, but I was tired of waiting, so I just bought it. And then from that came the hump of like, okay, now I need to actually go into the book and find where I left off. That was the whole thing too. When you have a book on Libby and it lapses, like you can't go back and see where you were, so I had to like figure it out. But anyways, long story short, I figured it out and I finished it, and it was really good, and I'm excited for the next book, and then the last book in the series, which is coming out in October. So here is the state of the room. There's just kind of mess on the bed, sheets, holiday sheets, mess over here, kind of a hodgepodge. It's just a lot of big stuff in a small room. And like I said, I want to reorganize my craft stuff. In this bin, I have a like wicker basket stuffed in this closet with a bunch of yarn and like unfinished blanket projects I've been working on. So I want this bin to house all of the yarn that I have in there. We need more space in this closet, so I'm going to take out that wicker basket and just condense everything down a bit. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, all the like Christmas sheets, the holiday sheets, like the linen stuff that needs to go up into this closet, I am just going to shift it. I'll put it in my room on my bed just to get it out of here and clear a space. All right, I have gotten out the big wicker basket holding a shit ton of yarn and previously started projects. This first one, this is a waffle blanket that I am trying to oh my god, I found more plush yarn. Anyways, I am trying to disassemble this. Whenever I first started making it, I just kind of like eyeballed an amount like to start with the chains, and I didn't really know if it was accurate or not. Long story short, since then, I was going through a bout of making a bunch of like ribbed, chunky yarn blankets for people, and I kind of made my own size chart. So I'm going to, this is a work in progress, of course, I'm still trying to disassemble this. That way I can redo it, but with an actual like pattern to follow, so that way I'm not guessing. So this is a project in itself, and this is where, you know, as I take the yarn, like the skeins out, I want a place to put them. So I'm going to put them into this container. And then here's a bag of more chunky, bulky yarn, the yarn that I was using. I have like so much of this stuff, I don't even know, like, I don't even know what I have. But alas, this is why I've been wanting to do this, because I've been putting it off for too long, and this closet here in the guest room has just been a clusterfuck for I don't know how long, and it's frustrating, so I want to take charge of that now. This, I think I know what this is. I think this is a cable knit Christmas stocking, like a crochet cable knit stocking. It's like I want to finish it, but like because I got so far and it's obviously like really cute, but I'll put a pin in this one because I'll have to find the video that I was following and then I can finish it. Ooh, guess what type of yarn I just found? Guess what type of yarn I just found? My favorite. And a blanket that I started. I am going to keep this one because this one I did start making after I like made my size chart, and I remember who I was making it for. So I'm going to actually keep this one in a project bag. And then the last thing in here, this is a blanket that I started like 3 years ago at this point, and I'm on the border of it. I decided to finish it off and make a border of it, so like I'm on the border. I had just started it. I'm only on the first side, but it's very pretty. A little like lapgan. So this as well is kind of like on my list of projects to finish. I know I said that I wanted to like get this basket out of here, but I think now that I see what I have, and I at least have the like balls and like unused skeins in this thing, I think I'm going to throw just my, you know, my half started stuff back into here just because it's all contained, and then I can just easily put this right back in a better spot in my closet. So I think I'm going to do, oh, here's what else I found. Forgot to show you this. This was as I was like unearthing everything from the closet. More acrylic. Because I started a Christmas granny square blanket. And I'll keep all these together as well, and I'll add it to this basket. I'm really hot and sweaty. My craft closet has kind of become a catch-all, just with hustle and bustle of the holiday, pulling out yarn, starting something, not putting it fully away, just kind of putting it into the closet. And really I just need to kind of like sort through everything and reassess the organization. I really want to reassess the bottom drawer, the like very like bottom drawer, because that drawer is literally like a hodgepodge of all the odds and ends crafting stuff that I don't reach for that often. All the stuff that I have here is stuff that I want like the most frequently accessible, like I'm always using it, going to it most often. And then, you know, like the like drawers and stuff, I have like my fabric on top, other stuff, you know, we'll get into it. But I'm gonna start kind of like reassessing the closet first. I found another empty Oreo tin, so I think I'm gonna go through this Reese's tin and just kind of like reorganize a little bit, because this Oreo tin will fit nicely on top of the other ones, and I can kind of, I know that this is like stuffed to the brim, so I'm gonna go through this one. I went through my tins and I added labels to all of the bottoms as well. So this main one, I don't need a label because this is my main sewing kit. I know what it is. I've had it for like a million years. Didn't need to label that. But I have in this tin, this is my like felt Christmas ornament patterns. So I have like stocking shapes, gingerbread man shape, plus like letters, because I have printed patterns that I purchased for like ornaments and stuff too. And I think I want to house this in the bottom drawer because I don't really need, not that it takes up a lot of space, but I don't need it up here, like up in the main area. So I think I'm going to relocate this to the bottom drawer. And then I think I would also like to relocate my embroidery kit. So this is like, if I'm doing embroidery on anything, kind of like my sewing kit, I have a separate embroidery kit with scissors, needles, stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna relocate these two tins to the bottom drawer. This tin is my thread and bobbins, and I have that labeled there. In this tin, this is all of my like odds and ends notion stuff. So I have like backstock straight pins, safety pins, buttons, Velcro, elastic, measuring tape, key rings, all of that is in here. Because all this stuff was smushed into this small one, plus the stuff that's actually in here too. So it's nice to have that taken care of. I'm going to put this on the bottom, my thread and bobbins on top, and then my sewing kit, my main sewing kit on top of that. And then in the Reese's Cup tin, this is all of my like sewing machine cleaning stuff. I also have my bias tape makers. I have backstock of like heat erasable ink, my tailor's chalk backstock, my sewing machine oil. So this is all kind of odds and ends stuff as well. I might relocate this to one of the drawers as well because I don't need it up here off like all the time. In this tin, I have a ton. It's like, I don't want to open it because it's like stuffed to the brim, but I think I will eventually. I'm not going to do it today. Eventually I need to go through this and see what scraps are salvageable to make squares out of. And I think these two tins I'll kind of dedicate to scraps. But this one's empty, this one's full. And then this is a utensil holder that I got from Aldi recently, and it holds my scissors nicely as well as my knitting needles. And this is just kind of like odds and ends backstock stuff. And I just used this pair of scissors, so I'm gonna put these back. And this lives up here. I have this bean pot that I thrifted a while ago. There's nothing in it. Oh, there actually is something in it. Ball of yarn. But I'm just like keeping it stored away because I don't want anything to happen to it. Alright, so to recap, on the top shelf I have the bean pot. I have this empty tin that will eventually have fabric scraps in it. I have this utensil holder for all of my backstock scissors. I have my main cup with like my main fabric scissors and rotary cutter and little scissors. But here I have pinking shears. These are like my paper cutting scissors for cutting like paper patterns. And then just a backstock left-handed scissor. I can use this for fabric. I'll probably just keep that as like a backstock like fabric scissor. And then in this little container, this has my knitting stuff in it. So this little pencil box, it has all of my knitting needles in it, as well as a pair of scissors inside. And then I have a little jar with stitch markers in it, like my big stitch markers. I have a darning needle to weave in ends. I have the little like silicone like tips to go over the tips of needles if I'm in the middle of a project. And I have the knitting stuff up because I don't reach for the knitting stuff as often. So it's up and to the side. All right, so down on this like main middle shelf, we have my backstock sewing notions, my thread and my bobbins, as well as my regular sewing kit. We have my 505 basting spray, a lint roller. I always keep a lint roller while I'm sewing with me like at the table. For any loose threads that get like snipped and on like my tablecloth, I'll use that to like get all those little threads off of the tablecloth, as well as like on projects and stuff too. This little cup, I have my E6000 as well as fabric glue. I have these marble coasters. I don't know if you can see. Those marble coasters, I thrifted those and I use those as pattern weights. And then of course my tin of fabric scraps. This main basket here has my crochet hooks. I have 2 cups that have crochet hooks in it. I have 2 of each size in both cups. And then I have 2, these are old, like, what was in here? Like sun-dried tomatoes, I think was in these jars, and I put my stitch markers in them. And then I put, on this one, I E6000 glued a magnet on top. That way, when I'm in the middle of sewing, like weaving in ends, one of my needles is metal. So I will take the metal needle and I'll just put it on here, and then I don't lose it. And then I'm going to start putting some of the other stuff back. I have 2 things of Wonder Clips. One up here, one there. I have my pins, my straight pins. I have tape. This is for taping patterns together, like printable patterns together. I have another measuring tape. I'm going to put this up there with those other magic clips. And then this section here, this basket has fabric in it, like my smaller folded up fabrics, larger than my little cuttings of scrap fabric that I keep in this tin right here. So this is fine there. This binder is my pattern binder. And if you would like to see how I organized all of my patterns into a binder, and go watch my last video and you can watch how I did that. Yeah. I have my sewing machine, and then I have my iron here, and I think I'm going to put my iron up here. So yeah, as you can see, this shelf stays clear because I need to be able to easily access and get my sewing machine in and out. This drawer, I don't need to like reorganize because I just recently went and like refolded everything. I know exactly what's in here. All that is in here is fabric. It's folded nicely, so I'm not too worried about it. This drawer has, once again, like odds and ends, notion stuff, like rulers. I have my foot pedal for my sewing machine in here too, just to keep this clutter out of the like top section. I also just recently got this rotary cutting mat to help with cutting squares, because that's on my list of to-dos, is to go through all my scrap fabrics, cut squares out of them, and just get them kind of, you know, solidified and condensed. You know, just the classic like routine sewist maintenance of just keeping track of your, you know, stock of things. I think I'm gonna just start by pulling out these things. In this envelope, it was all of the like rulers and stuff that I'd gotten for Christmas, so I took them out of their like packaging, and I'm keeping this little envelope that they came in because it just keeps them all contained. But I think I'm going to declutter these. I'll give them to my sister to see if she wants them, but I'm good on rulers. I have plenty, so I'm good to declutter these and get them out of my supply. But I have my Omni Grid. I have this bag of zippers. I do want to make I want to sew a bag to put these zippers in because this fucking zipper keeps breaking. So that's on my list of goals to do, is to just use some scrap fabric that I have to make a bag to put these zippers in. That way they're better contained. I'll probably do a boxy bag, that way they're contained really well. I have these like polyester, like leftover polyester battings that I'm actually going to put the big ones in here, but I have these scraps, and I think I'm gonna use that other tin that I had to put batting scraps in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. These are the smaller cuts. The stuff that I put back are the more like bigger rectangular square pieces. Alright, so we have this roll of cotton batting. I didn't need to take it out because it's contained. I have this like leftover polyester batting. I have this Omni Grid, of a few of these rulers tucked in on the inside of the drawer. My bigger one that I have, this one, I am putting it up next to where the sewing machine is, just because it fits in there nicely. And then here's the cord. I have zippers, my other rulers that I just put, my hot iron ruler, my French curves, and then I have insulated batting as well as interfacing, and all of that is contained. This last drawer is the one that I'm kind of the most like about because there's just a ton of odds and ends stuff. But I think I'm actually going to take everything out and then reassess everything. Alright, so this drawer is, I know it still looks like a mess, but everything is contained. This is all stuff that I don't reach for all the time. This is suitable for right now. At some point, as stuff gets used up, as stuff gets readjusted, you know, in a perfect world, I would like to have like perfect little acrylic organizers and whatever, but this stuff just has awkwardly shaped stuff. I got it all to fit. That's all that matters. So I'm satisfied with this drawer. And then I know you can't see it, but my fabric drawer is all good. Ugh, that felt really good to do. Like I said, my closet was becoming a catch-all. Well, the closet, the guest room closet, and my craft cabinet closet, whatever you want to call it, had been feeling so, you know, full of shit and cluttered and just messy, and now it's clear, there's a flow, and I'll be ready to pick up whatever sewing project I want to get into. The yarn that was in the cabinet I have here, and I will be eventually putting that yarn away, but I can't promise that I'm gonna do it right now. I'm feeling hungry, I'm feeling tired. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me organize slash declutter slash revamp slash move stuff around. And also, happy February. We are now in the second month of the year, and I'm super excited for what this month will bring. Not sure what projects I want to do this month, but I do have 2 books on my like want to read list that I would like to read. I just finished Vicious by V.E. Schwab, and I want to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And then there is also a book that I saw at the library that I think I want to go back to the library and get, but it's called Tomorrow There Will Be Apricots, and I'm really interested in that one, so that is on my want to read. Not TBR, because I'm not going to lock myself into it, but those are 2 books that I'm interested in reading, and I think February might be a reading month for me, but we'll see. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.